Good day, everyone. So, we are assigned to report the K to 12 Basic Education Program. Ninindigan pa rin po tayo sa ipinangako nating pagbabago sa edukasyon. Ang gawin itong sentral na estratehiya sa pamumuhunan sa pinakamahalaga nating yaman, ang mamamayang Pilipino. Sa K-12, tiwala tayong magbibigyang lakas si Juan de la Cruz upang mapaunlad hindi lamang ang kanyang sarili at pamilya, kundi maging ang buong bansa. Ayon sa ating Pangulong Benigno S. Aquino III. So the question is, what is the K-12 program? The K-12 program covers kindergarten and 12 years of basic education. So it covers 6 years of primary education, 4 years of junior high school, and 2 years of senior high school. So as you can see, this is the salient features of basic education. ABC and 123. Strengthening early childhood education. So this is universal kindergarten. To ensure every Filipino child now has access to early childhood education through universal kindergarten. At 5 years old, children start schooling and are given the means to slowly adjust to formal education. Research shows that children who underwent kindergarten have better completion rates than those who did not. Children who complete the standards-based kindergarten program are better prepared for primary education. Education for children in the early years lays the foundation of lifelong learning and for the total development of a child. The early years of a human being from 0 to 6 years are the most critical period when the brain grows to at least 60 to 70% of adult size. So what kindergarten students learn? So the students learn the alphabet, numbers, shapes, and colors. So how they can learn? So it is through games, songs, and dances in their mother tongue. Next, making the curriculum relevant to learners. So it is conceptualize and enhancement. Examples: activities, songs, poems, stories, and illustrations are based on the local culture, history, and reality. This makes the lessons relevant to the learners and easy to understand. Students can acquire in-depth knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes through continuity and consistency across all levels and subjects. Discussions on issues such as disaster risk reduction or DRR, climate change adaptation, and information and communication technology or ICT are included in the enhanced curriculum. Building proficiency through language, mother tongue based multilingual education. So here, students are able to learn best through their first language, their mother tongue or MT. 12 MT languages have been introduced for school year 2012 to 2013. So after grade 1, every student can read in his or her mother tongue. So as you can see, there is magandang umaga, maayong adlaw, muyang adlaw, and so on. So one of the salient feature is ensuring integrated and seamless learning or spiral progression. So here, subjects are taught from the simplest concepts to more complicated concepts through grade levels in spiral progression. As early as elementary, students gain knowledge in areas such as biology, geometry, earth science, chemistry, and algebra. This ensures a mastery of knowledge and skills after each level. For example, currently in high school, biology is taught in second year, chemistry in third year, and physics in fourth year. In K to 12, these subjects are connected and integrated from grade 7 to 10. This same method is used in other learning areas like math. Gearing up for the future, senior high school is 2 years of specialized upper secondary education. Students may choose a specialization based on the aptitude, interest, and school capacity. The choice of career track will define the content of the subjects a student will take in grade 11 and 12. SHS subjects fall under either the core curriculum or specific tracks. Core curriculum. So there are 7 learning areas under the core curriculum. There are languages, literature, communication, mathematics, philosophy, natural sciences. Current context from some general education subjects are embedded in the SHS curriculum. Tracks. Each student in senior high school can choose among 3 tracks. The academic track includes 3 strands: business, accountancy, management, or BAM, humanities, education, social sciences, or HESS, and science, technology, engineering, mathematics, or STEM. So, students undergo immersion, which may include earn while you learn opportunities to provide them relevant exposure and actual experience in their chosen track. TVET, Technical Vocational Education and Training, National Certificate. After finishing grade 10, students can obtain certificates of competency or COC or National Certificate Level 1 NC1 after finishing a technical vocational livelihood track in grade 12. A student may obtain a National Certificate Level 2 NC2 to provide he/she passes the competency-based assessment of the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority or TESDA. NC1 and NC2 improves employability of graduates in fields like agriculture, electronics, and trade. Modeling best practices for senior high school. In school year 2012 to 2013, there are 33 public high schools, public technical vocational high schools, and higher education institutions that have implemented grade 11. This is a research and design or R&D program to simulate different aspects of senior high school in preparation for full nationwide implementation in school year 2016-2017. Modeling programs offered by these schools are based on students' interests, community needs, and their respective capacities.
Good day everyone, my name is Ed Rodriguez. So we will show the topic of how to skate to 12. Nurturing the holistically developed Philippine. After going through kindergarten, the enhanced elementary and junior curriculum, and a specialized senior high program, every K to 12 graduate will be ready to go to different paths, maybe further education, employment, or entrepreneurship. So every graduate will be equipped with una is information, media and technology skills, learning and innovation skills, effective communication skills, and life and career skills. So implementation and transition management. So the first batch of learners who went through the full K-12 system will be graduate on 2024, 2024. So here's the first batch, school year 2012 to 2013. So program implementation in public schools is being done in phases starting school year 2012 to 2013. So grade 1 entrants in school year 2012 to 2013 are the first batch to fully undergo the program. And current first year junior high school students or grade 7 are the first to undergo the enhanced secondary education program. So to facilitate the transition from the existing 10-year basic education to 12 years, the DepEd is also implementing the senior high school and senior high school modeling. So Moni siya ang kuan niya. So frequently asked questions and achievements and plans. So no shortages by the end of 2013. So frequently asked questions. K-12 concerns. Universal kindergarten began in school year 2011 to 2012. So the enhanced curriculum for grade 1 and grade 7 first year was rolled out this school year 2012 to 2013 and will be progressively introduced in the other grade levels in succeeding school years. Grade 11 will be introduced in school year 2016 to 2017, and grade 12 is school year 27 to 2018. The first batch of high school students to go through K-12 will graduate in March 2018. So where will be the additional 2 years will be added? So the 2 years will be added after the 4-year high school program. So this will be called senior high school. So nakabala naman tayo kay some of us are nakagi sa senior high school. So after siya sa junior high, so muna siya kita senior high school. So why are we implementing 12 years of basic education and not 11 years? So a 12-year program is bound to be adequate period for learning under basic education. It is also a standard for recognition of students and or professionals abroad. So example is the Bologna process for the European Union and the Washington Accord for the United States. So other countries like Singapore have 11 years of compulsory education but have 12 to 14 years of pre-university education depending on the track. So the Philippines is the last country in Asia and one of only three countries worldwide, the other two being Angola and Djibouti, with a 10-year pre-university cycle. So how we will cater that in ensuring employment for our graduates? So the K-12 basic curriculum will be sufficient to prepare students for work. So the curriculum will enable students to acquire certificate of competency and national certifications. This will be in accordance with TESDA training regulation. This will now graduate the middle level skills and will offer the from better opportunities to be gainfully employed or become entrepreneurs. There will be a school industry partnership for technical education courses to allow students to gain more experience while studying and offer the opportunity to be observed by the companies. So other question is what will be the assurance that K-12 graduates will be employed? So DepEd has entered into an agreement with business organization, local and foreign chambers of commerce and industries to ensure that graduates of K-12 will be considered for employment. So there will be a matching of competency requirements of and standards so that 12-year basic education graduates will be necessary skills needed to join the workplace and to match the college readiness standards for further education and future employment. So entrepreneurship will also be fostered in the enhanced curriculum, ensuring graduates can be ventured into other opportunities beyond employment. So how will the K-12 program help working students? So sa college level, so DepEd in collaboration with the Commission of Higher Education or CHED to provide more opportunities for working students to attend class. So DepEd is working with the Department of Labor and Employment to ensure that jobs will be available to K-12 graduates and that consideration will be given to working students. So how will the K-12 program help students intending to pursue higher education? So the K-12 basic education curriculum is in accordance with the college readiness standards of CHED, which set the skills and competency required for K-12 graduates who intend to pursue higher education. So the transition, management, and further education. Transition management and further education. What will happen to colleges and universities during the initial grade 1 implementation of senior high school in school year 2016 to 2017 and school year 2017 to 2018? So to manage the initial implementation of the K-12 program and mitigate the expected multi-role year-low enrollment turnout for colleges, universities, and technical vocational institutions starting school year 2016 to 2017. So DepEd shall engage in partnership with them to use their existing facilities and teaching staff. This ensured that during the transition period, the reduction in enrollment in these colleges and universities may be offset. Sila paningkamutan at ma-offset ra ang enrollment sa colleges and universities. Where will senior high school be implemented? So existing public schools may implement senior high school. DepEd will be in partnership with CHED, TESDA, and private schools to use their facilities, especially for the transition years. In addition, new stand-alone senior high school will be built. So how will DepEd recruit enough teachers for school year 2016 to 2017 onwards? With this continuous increase of the DepEd budget, more teachers are being hired to fill all necessary gaps in schools. To aid transition hiring of graduates of science, mathematics, statistics, engineering, and others specialists in subjects with a shortage of, qualified licensure examination for teachers, applicants, graduates of technical vocational courses, higher education institution faculty, and practitioners will be allowed. What are the guidelines for graduates of science, mathematics, statistics, engineering, and other specialist subjects with a shortage of qualified licensure for teachers like applicants? So this graduate will be permitted to teach in their specialized subjects in elementary and secondary education. So they must pass the lead within 5 years after their date of hiring to remain employed full time. So they will no longer be required to pass the lead if these graduates are willing to teach on a part-time basis. So what are the guidelines for higher technical vocational course graduate faculty of higher education and practitioners? Graduates of technical vocational courses must be necessary for certification issued by TESDA and undergo training to be administered by DepEd or a higher education institution. So faculty of college and universities must be full-time professors and the holders of a relevant bachelor's. Faculty of TVIs and higher education institution will be given priority in hiring for the transition period. DepEd and private education institution may also hire practitioners with expertise in the specialized learning areas offered by the K-12 program as part-time features. So how will K-12 affect the college curriculum? So the general education curriculum is being revised. So it will have fewer units with the removal of unnecessary remediation as K-12 graduates adhere to the college readiness standards. With K-12, the college curriculum will comprise of a year's worth of general education subject and at least 2 years of major subjects. So will K-12 change the technical vocational education and training programs? No. So the answer to them is no. So TESDA will continue to offer technical vocational education and training programs. So students may also be eligible for NCI, NC1 and NC2, the junior high school and senior high school respectively. So what is my role in supporting this program? So being informed, education shapes our future as Filipinos. It is our duty to be aware of reforms in basic education that will move our country forward. Spread awareness, tell your family, friends, and networks about the K-12 program and help them stay informed. So that's all for what is the K-12. Thank you.
Going to report the K to 12 basic education program. My assigned topics are budget and ensuring sustainability of the program. First, I'm going to report the budget. So DepEd lacks resources to address its current input shortage. With K to 12 and its added resources needs, how will these be addressed? So all input shortage will be wiped out before the end of 2013. 1:1 ratio for student to textbook and students to seat will be achieved within school year 2012-2013. Shortage just in classrooms, teachers, and toilet will be fully addressed next year because mag-add na sila og senior high and senior high and junior high school. The DepEd budget received a 23% increase in 2013, and the dietary requirements for K to 12 will be included in succeeding approximation full implementation. We also have the support of local government units and private partners to build the needed infrastructure. So, saan man pagtabang sa mga private sectors, private individuals. So, dili. So the private partners can donate through our Adapt ASCO program, which provide them a 150% tax rebate for their contribution. Individuals and institution can take it in the 10 moves campaign to build 10,000 classrooms by donating 10 pesos per day for 10 months. So LGUs can follow the front leading scheme using their special education fund as collateral and allocate as amortization. For teachers item, LGUs also help by hiring qualified teachers for our public school and paying honoraria for them. We have we have enough time to provide the additional classrooms, teachers, and infrastructures materials since they will be needed beginning school year 2016 to 2017. So ensuring sustainability of the program. So how will government respond to this difficulty? Kay no galisod na gani ang ubang pamilya nga wala na-extend walay grade 11 o grade 12. So how much more additional? So mao ni siya um response sa DepEd or sa government. Kindergarten and 12 years of basic education is offered for them free for all the public schools. So there are additional indirect costs, but government agencies are collaborating to provide programs that will enable access to quality education, especially to those with lesser means. So proposals such as expansion of education service contracting scheme under the government assistance to students and teachers in private education and other cost sharing arrangements are being developed by the Fed. So K to 12 graduates should have their higher potential as they will be more competent and skilled. Kay ni-graduate nila na makadawat na sila og kani test the certification. So as a result of the K to 12 program, particularly the more the more specialized education in senior high school, CHED is exploring the possibility of decreasing the numbers of years of certain degree programs in college. So katong grade of K to 12, pwede na sila mo trabaho sa nakita na ako example katong sa airlines na usa ka airline company nga modawat sila K to 12 as flying attendant. So inana ka effective ang K to 12 kay kadawat na sila bisag dili graduate og college. So, what about the dropout problem? Will this be addressed by K to 12 curriculum? Yes. Also, DepEd refers to term school leavers rather than dropout, recognizing that most students who discontinue schooling were pushed out of the system due to the factors beyond their parental control. Keeping students in school is a responsibility of inter-community. To respond to this, DepEd and other agencies are collaborating to make sure that all children stays in school through program like Pantawid Pamilya Pilipino Program for Peace or kani siya lang miyembro og for peace nga tanang miyembro sa pamilya nga sa families na apil og for peace oblig or obliged nga mo eskwela jud para ma sa para ma para maka-graduate sila para mo ni siya for peace mo ni siya or way na matabangan ang mga Filipinos nga katong wala jud iba nga naa sila magasto pa to school sila na. And also the Department of Social Welfare and Development. So those agencies, the government agencies, sila ay mutabang. DepEd will also continue to offer offer programs such as homeschooling for elementary students and the scholar leavers reduction program for high schools. These programs address the learning needs of marginalized students and learners at risk of leaving the school programs. So, ang DepEd, kung nakachada sa K-12, kay mukha sila o bisag kung dili ka attend imong kani students sa face-to-face. So, dahil sila ay homeschooling for elementary, kung katong mga school leavers. So, pwede na sila makagraduate, diba? So, how will the government ensure the effectiveness of the K-12 program? So, a joint oversight committee from the Senate and the House of Representatives shall be formed to oversee, monitor, and evaluate implementation by the end of school year 2014-2015. I-evaluate na nila kung effective ba ang K-12 program. So far, effective man siya kay pwede na pug dili ka mo college kay ana kay certification sa TESDA, pwede na ka makatrabaho. Pero tiyada ko ng graduate kag college, we have a degree. No? DepEd will conduct a review of the implementation of the K-12 program and submit a midterm program report to Congress. So, won't this be another avenue for corruption? How can you ensure that funds will be released and used properly? So, DepEd fully support the Aquino administration's driven against corruption. So, not just Aquino, but our current administration, the 30 administration, also against the corrupt people. Ano? We will regularly package and disseminate information on agencies' budgets, biddings, and procurement documents and SAL-ns or statements of assets, liabilities, and net worth for senior government officials. So to ensure transparency and sustainability o accountability ilang trabaho para magasto ang kwarta sa insakto ug effective way. So it is also to in our best interest to ensure that funds and resources are not lost to corruption.
Good day everyone, my name is Alvin Salim, BTE student third year. So today our report is the K-12 basic education program. So the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013 of Republic Act number 10533 was signed on May 15, 2013. So Republic Act number 10533, an act enhancing the Philippine basic education system by strengthening its curriculum and increasing the number of years for basic education, appropriating funds there, therefore and for other purposes. So, so Republic Act 10533 533 is enhancing basic education is popular known as K-12 started as a flagship reform. Strategy initiated also by the DepEd Secretary with objective of producing more productive and responsible citizens fully equipped with essential competencies, skills for both lifelong learners and employment. And next, so Section 1, short title, the Act shall be known as the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013. So Section 1 is a having kinder is a Enhancing Basic Education Act of 2013, having kindergarten as a part of the basic education curricula and having a mandatory improves the student access to education. So the Philippines government believes that compulsory kindergarten better prepares learning who have active minds to the next level of schooling. So, Section 2, Declaration of Policy, the state shall establish, maintain, and support a complete, educate, and integrated system of education relevant to the needs of the people, the country, and society at large. So, likewise, is hereby declared the policy of the states that every graduate of basic education shall be an empowered individual who has learned through a program that is rooted on sound education principles and geared toward excellence. The foundation for learning throughout life, the competency to engage in work and to be productive, the ability to coexist in fruitful harmony with local and global communities. So, the capability to engage in autonomous, creative, and critical thinking, and the capacity and willingness to other and oneself. For the purpose of this, state shall create a functional basic education system that will develop productive and responsible citizens equipped with essential competencies, skills, and values for both lifelong learners and employment. In order to achieve this, the state shall A. Give every student an opportunity to receive quality education that is globally competitive based on pedagogically sound curriculum that is at par with international standards. Broaden the goals of high school education for college preparation, vocational and technical career opportunities, as well as creative arts, sports, and entrepreneurial employment in a rapidly changing and increasingly globalized environment. C. So, make educational learning oriented and responsive to the needs of cognitive and cultural capacity, the circumstances and diversity of learning. So, Section 3, so the basic education is intended to meet basic learning needs, which provides the foundation on which subsequent learning can be based and encompass kindergarten, elementary, and secondary education, as well as alternative learning system for out-of-school learners and those with special needs. So the basic education is encompass kindergarten, elementary, and secondary. So, Section 4, Enhanced Basic Education Programs. So the Enhanced Basic Education Programs encompass at least 1 year of kindergarten education, 6 years of elementary education and 6 years of secondary education. In that sequence, secondary education includes 4 years of junior high school and 2 years of junior high school. So, kindergarten education shall mean 1 year of preparatory education for children at least 5 years old as a prerequisite for grade 1. So, meaning, pag 5 years old na ang bata, pwede na so kuha na siya o kindergarten school. So, para mo proceed siya o grade 1. So, prerequisite na siya. So, pag mo 6 na siya, then nakaswila na siya grade kinder, so pwede na siya mo proceed o grade 1. So, secondary education refers to the third stage of compulsory basic education. It consists of 4 years of junior high school education and 2 years of junior high school education. The entrance age of the junior and senior high school levels are typically 12 and 16 years old respectively. So basic education shall be delivered in language understood by the learner as the language plays a strategic role in shaping the formative years of learners. So for kindergarten, at the first 3 years of elementary education, instruction, teaching material, and assessment shall be in the regional or native language of the learners. The Department of Education, the DepEd, shall formulate a mother language transition program from grade 4 to grade 6 so that Filipino and English shall be gradually introduced as language of instruction until such time when these two languages can become the primary language of instruction at the secondary level. So, for the purpose of the Act, mother language of the first language refers to the language of first learner by a child which is identified as a native language user by other, which he or she knows best or uses most. So this includes Filipino Sign Language used by individual with pertinent disability. So the regional of native refers to the traditional speech variety of Filipino language existing in the region, area, or place. Section 5, Curriculum Development. So the DepEd shall formulate the design and details of the Enhancing Basic Education Curriculum. It shall work with the Commission on Higher Education, CHED, to craft harmonized basic and tertiary curricula for the global competitiveness of Filipino graduates, to ensure college readiness and to avoid remedial and education of basic education subject. So, the DepEd shall coordinate with the CHED and the Technical Education and Skill Development Authority, TESDA. So, to achieve an effective enhanced basic education curriculum, the DepEd shall undertake consultation with other national government, agency, and other stakeholders, including, but not limited to, the Department of Labor and Employment, DOLE, so the Professional Regulation Commission, or PRC, so the Private and the Public School Association, so the National Student Organization, the National Teacher Organization, the Parents Teacher Association, and the Chambers of Commerce on matters affecting the stakeholders. So the TPED shall adhere to the following standard and principle in developing the enhanced basic education curriculum. So A, the curriculum shall be learner-centered, inclusive, and developmentally appropriate. B, the curriculum shall be relevant, responsive, and research-based. The curriculum shall be culture sensitive. D, the curriculum shall be contextualized and global. E, the curriculum shall use pedagogical approaches that are constructivist, inquiry-based, reflection, collaboratory, and integrative. So to achieve an effective enhanced basic education curriculum, the DepEd shall undertake a consultation, including but not limited to the Department of Labor and Employment. So the Professional Regulation Commission of PRC, so the Private and Public School Association, the National Student Organization, National Teacher Organization, the Parents Teacher Association, and the Chambers of Commerce of matters affecting the concerned stakeholder. So the DepEd shall adhere to the following standard And F. The curriculum shall adhere to the principle and framework of mother tongue-based multilingual education or MTB/MLE. So MTB means mother tongue ng Bisaya, Bisaya or Cebuano, Cebuano ng language which started from birth. Tagalog. Sa Luzon, Tagalog, sa Iloilo, Ilonggo. So, the curriculum shall use the spiral progression approach to ensure mastery of knowledge and skill after each level, and the curriculum shall be flexible enough to enable and allow school to localize, indigenous, and enhance the same based on their respective education and social context. The production and development of biological produced teaching materials, encourage and to approval of these materials shall be devolved to the regional and division education units. So the next report will be Rito Tolentine sa Section 6 Curriculum Consultative Committee.
Again, so as continuation of Alvin report, which is the Republic Act number 10533, which is means of act and enhancing the the Philippine basic education system by strengthening its curriculum and increasing the number of years for basic education and appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes. So section 7. So section number 7. So the curriculum consultative committee. So what it means? So there shall be created a curriculum consultative committee chaired by the deputy secretary or his or her duly authorized representative and with members composed of but not limited to a representative each from the chain, and that is the DOLE or Department of Labor Employment, the PRC, the Department of Science and Technology, and DOST, and furthermore a representative from the business chambers such as the Information Technology, Business and Process Outsourcing or IT, BPO, or Industry Association. The consultative committee shall oversee the review and evaluation of the implementation of the basic education curriculum and may recommend to the DepEd the formation necessary refinements of curriculum. So therefore, the curriculum consultative committee eh, highlights the curriculum consultative committee, which is shared by different a DepEd, which is CHED or PISDA, and some others, the DOLE or the DOST. So that is the behind the section number 6, which is the curriculum consultative committee. So let's move on. So the section number 7, which is the teacher education and training. To ensure that they enhance basic education and school leaders, the Department of the CHED or the Commission on Higher Education in collaboration with relevant partnership or the partner, government, academy, industry, and non-governmental organization or shall conduct teacher education and training programs as specified. So the teacher education and training, it is how the teacher has or have the knowledge to employ the students to have the standard knowledge, and that's all the basic or the section number 7, which is the teacher education and training. So let's go to the section number or A. So the in-service training on content and pedagogy. The current DepEd teachers shall be retrained the content and performance standards of new K to 12 curriculum. So the DepEd shall ensure the private education institution or shall be given the opportunity to evaluate our training, and B, training of new teachers. So it means the new graduates of the current teachers education curriculum shall addi- addi- additional training upon hiring to upgrade their skills. So it means the new graduates of current teachers education shall have the upgraded skills, which is intended to have the better knowledge and content standards of new curriculum. And furthermore, the chain of the Commission on Higher Education and coordinations with the DepEd and relevant stakeholders shall ensure that the teachers' education curriculum offered in this teachers' education or institute that will meet necessary standards for new teachers. Duly recognized organizations acting as in coordination with the chain and other relevant stakeholders shall ensure that the curriculum of these organizations necessary quality standards for trained teachers. So this is how the new or the training of new teachers. And C, which is the training of school leadership. So the superintendents, principal, subject area coordinates, instructional school leaders shall likewise undergo workshops and training to enhance their skills on the as academic administration and community leaders. So it means shall uh, the superintendents, the principal, or any coordinators of the school shall undergo or shall have the workshop or training to ensure or to enhance their skill on the academic. And henceforth, such professional development programs are those stated above shall be and regularly throughout the school years to ensure instant upgrading of the skill or the teacher's skill. So, next, the section number 8, which is hiring graduates of science, mathematics, statistics, engineering, and other specialized in subject with a shortage of qualified applicants, and technical vocational courses and higher education institution faculty. So, from the section number 8, uh, it it has highlighted the different qualified applicants, which is the mathematics or the statics, engineering, and other specialists. So this means a it is the provision of sections 26, 27, and 28 of the Republic Act numbers 7. Oh, wait, Act 7836, or otherwise known as the Philippine Teachers of Professionalization Act of 1994. So, the DepEd and private education institutions shall hire as relevant to the particular subject. So, it means the private or the government or non-government shall have the particular or relevant subject to adhere the section number 8, which is hiring the graduates of science, mathematics, statistics, engineering, and other specialists. So, next. So the graduates of science, mathematics, statistics, engineering, and music and other degree courses with shortages and qualified licensures, examination for teachers or AET, applicants to teach their specialized subjects in the elementary and secondary education. So the qualified licensure examination for teachers or LET applicants shall also include graduate admitted by the foundations duly recognized for the expertise in the education sectors and who satisfactorily complete the requirements set by these organizations. And it provided that they pass the LAT or the licensure examination of teachers within 5 years after the date hiring shall provided or further that if such graduates are willing to teach and as part or on part the basis the provisions of LAT shall they or shall be nor required. Shall not be required. Okay. So let's move on. And B is the graduates of technological courses to teach in their specialized subjects in the secondary education, provided that these graduates possess the necessary certification issued by the TESDA, and provided on furthermore that they undergo appropriate and service training to be administered by the DepEd and higher education institution at the expenses of the DepEd. So the graduate of technical vocational courses is to teach in specialized subjects in the secondary education. So that example that these graduates possess the necessary certification issued by the TISDA. And C is a faculty of AHAS be allowed to teach in their general education or subject specialties or in the secondary education, and provided that the faculty must be holder of a relevant bachelor's degree and must have satisfactorily served as a full-time HAI faculty. And they is the depart is the Department of Education or DepEd and private education institute may hire practitioners with expertise in the specialized learning areas offered by the basic education curriculum. So the basic education curriculum had hired the expertise to specialize the learning areas, and it provide that it that they teach on part-time basis only. For the purpose, the DepEd in coordination with the appropriate government agencies shall determine the necessary standards in hiring these experts. So the section number 9, which is the career guidance and counseling advocacy. So it is to properly guide the students in choosing the career tracks that they intend to pursue. The DepEd or the Department of Education in coordination with DOLE or Department of Health or Labor Employment, the TISDA and the CHED shall regularly conduct career advocacy activities for secondary level students. So it means the secondary level students must have to have the conduct of the career or career guidance, which is implemented by the DepEd or the CHED. And furthermore, notwithstanding the provisions of Section 27 of Republic Act number 9258, otherwise known as the Guidance and Counseling Act of 2004, career and employment guidance counselors who are not registered and licensed guidance counselors shall be allowed to conduct career advocacy activities to secondary level students of the school where they are currently employed, provided that they are undergo a training program to be developed or accredited by that department. So it is the continuation of being the guidance or the career guidance and counseling advocacy of this section number 9. So let's move on. So the section number 10, which is the expansion of ages B of beneficiaries. So the benefits accorded by the Republic Act number 8545 or the expanded government assistance of students and teachers in private education act shall be extended to qualified students enrolled under the enhanced basic education. And for more information, the DepEd shall engage the services of private education institution and non-DepEd schools offering senior high school through the programs under the Republic Act number 8545. So, and another financial arrangements formulated by the DepEd and the Department of Budget and Management based on the principles of public-private partnership. So the expansion of section number 10 is how the benefits of the Republic Act number 8545, which is the expanded government assistance to students and teachers in private education act. So let's move out to section number 11. So section number 11, appropriations, which is the Secretary of Education shall include in the department's program the operationalization of the enhanced basic education program, the initial funding of which shall be in charge against the current appropriations of the DepEd. Thereafter, the amount necessary for the continued implementation of the enhanced basic education program shall be included in the annual general appropriation. So it means annual, it's yearly. So the section number 8 uh, comprise the necessary of continued implementation of enhanced basic education, which is program of the education, which is shall be in the department program in appreciation of enhanced basic education program. In generalize, it is how the initial funding of which shall be charged against the current appropriations of the DepEd. So that is all about my report in section number 6 until section 11.
Okay. Good day, everyone. My name is Giselle S. Rama, third year BTE student. So for now, as a continuation of our assigned topic or assigned report, I will going to report section 14 to section 19 of Republic Act 10533, an act enhancing the Philippine basic education system by strengthening its curriculum and increasing the number of years for basic education, appro- appropriating funds thereof and for other purposes. So I'm going to start with the section 14. So section 14, mandatory evaluation and review by the end of the year 2014 and 2015, the DepEd shall conduct a mandatory review and submit a midterm report to Congress as to the status of implementation of the K-12 program in terms of closing the following current shortages. For A is teachers, B classrooms, C textbooks, D seats, E toilets, and F other shortages that should be addressed. So the DepEd shall include among others in this midterm report the following key metrics of access to and quality of basic education: A participation rate, B retention rate, C national achievement test results, D completion rate, E. Teachers' welfare and training profiles. F. Adequacy of funding requirements. And G. Other learning facilities, including but not limited to computer and science laboratories, libraries and library hubs, and sports, music, and arts. So, in this section, it will test or evaluate the outcome of the first implementation of the K-12 program. So, uh, in this section, diri makita ang report sa mga teachers or sa mga agencies like DepEd department nga unsay resulta sa ilang pag-implement sa K-12 program. So diri makita kung nagkulang ba ta og mga teachers, classrooms, textbooks, seats, toilets, and other shortages para ma-implement ning K-12 program. So mogamaan ni sila og report, i-submit nila sa Congress for the Congress to give makahatag og way kung saan pag-solve ning kind of problems na na-encounter sa pag-implement sa K-12 program. Next is uh, Section 15, Commitment to International Benchmark. So, the DepEd shall endeavor to increase the per capita spending on education towards the immediate attainment of international benchmark. So, International benchmarks typically refers to analyzing how performing education systems and identifying ways to improve our own system based on the findings. So uh, it engaged in this section. It engaged local government units like LGUs to efficiently use the special education fund and other funds to advance and promote basic education. So sa mga LGUs naman na sila gilain nga budget para sa education. So muna siya mo counterpart ang LGU para ma-improve pa ang education system with this new act. So it implement programs that will enhance private sector participation and partnership in basic education, and it proposed an annual budget allocation in accordance with these goals. So the DepEd spending plan to ensure that the UNESCO prescribed standard on education spending are attained. So next section is section 16, implementing rules and regulation. Within 90 days after the effectivity of this act, DepEd Secretary, the chairperson, and the TESDA Director General shall promulgate the rules and regulation needed for the implementation of this act. So after 90 days nga uh, ma-effective na ning act, ang CHED, ang like the DepEd, CHED at TESDA may also issue such policies and guidelines as may be necessary to further implementation of these implementing rules and regulation. And they also have the right to amend or amendments to this implementing rules and regulations shall be jointly promulgated by the DepEd Secretary, CHED Chairperson, and the TESDA Director General. Next, next section is section 17, separability clause. So if any provision of this act is held invalid or unconstitutional, the same shall not affect the validity and effectivity of the other provision. So as a word explained by itself, that separability or separate. So meaning uh, first, I'm going to by definition I'm going to define what is provision. So provision is a legal condition embedded into contract, or they are legal parameters included in an agreement. So if any provision of this implementing rules and regulation na ma-declare nga invalid or unconstitutional, it will not affect, dili siya makaapekto sa uban nga mga implementing rules and regulation, uh, because they are separately, they, that we call the separability clause. Muna siya murug mag power ba nga, muna siya mahatag og power sa usa ka implementing rules and regulation nga if ever kauban nimo within this act, lain-lain og implementing rules and regulation. If for example, if one implementing rules and regulation is nakakuan siya invalid or unconstitutional, dili siya makaapekto sa uban nga rules and regulation nga gipatupad. So next is section 18, repealing clause. So pertinent provision of Batas Pambansa bilang 232 or the Education Act of 1982, Republic Act number 9155 or the Governance of Basic Education Act of 2001, Republic Act number 9258, Republic Act number 7836, and all other laws, decrees, executive orders, and rules and regulation contrary to or inconsistent with the provision of this act are hereby repealed or modified accordingly. So, by the word modified, murag siya gi-usob or gi-upgrade. So, meaning, it means that all tanan nga laws, decrees, executive orders, and rules and regulation nga related sa basic education program nga sa magtagalog ta so sumasalungat or hindi sumasang-ayon sa sa probinsyong ito or of this provision ay automatically pinapawalang visa or nawad na siya power o giusto na siya into more kuan ba more kuan kanang magamit gyud. So meaning napulihan na siya og kaning tanan nga nas diri sa akong PowerPoint nga mga Republic related to basic education program napulihan na siya tanan sa upgraded nga bag-o nga act for the basic education program which is the kuan katong kani nga act nga among gi-discuss karon. So next slide is section 19, effectivity clause. This act shall take effect 15 days after its publication in the official gazette or in two newspapers of general circulation. So, meaning not just this act, but all act will only take effect 15 days after the after it was published or after publication sa official gazette. So, for the information of everybody, so official gazette is the official public journal and main publication of government of the Philippines. So it is managed by the PCOO or the Presidential Communication Operations Office. So that's all for my report. Thank you and God bless.